Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm glad you're here this morning. This is Austin with another episode of Power of Pure Presence. I know you're going to really enjoy today's show. Part of this is live, and part of this is pre-recorded. This is season 2, episode number 9, and as I titled this, there could have been a lot of titles for today's show. But for today's show, we're going to dive into the art of living more fully now. I have a quote that I'm going to share with you during this episode. I'm going to be reading from this book that I picked up, which was really amazing. It's it's called Specimen Days by Walt Whitman. And it's amazing how these books find me, but there's so much in this book about being present. I'm going to read a little reading from T.S. Eliot. That was another piece of literature that found me in one of his poems. I'll be sharing that with you today. And then we're just going to allow this to unfold, this space to unfold today. So what I want to invite you to do, as my voice automatically just changes as soon as the show starts. Hey, this is real, right? This is what comes up in the moment. I hope you had a great night's rest. I know I did. And just allowing this day to unfold and be in it in the moment, is a beautiful gift. So I'm just going to invite you to, let's just do like a subtle pause here as I say good morning to you. And let's see what we can co-create today during this time. I'll be watching the chat and just allowing the moment to unfold. So good morning. Good morning. This is live right now. I do have a pre-recorded piece I'm going to share, but you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So take a moment and just pause. Just pause, and I'm going to be transitioning over here in a moment. Just take a moment, just to what's going on in your body. Did you breathe fully this morning yet? Were your thoughts racing about all the things that are going on in life? Perhaps today, this week, maybe you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have all these things to do. Yes, drink lemon water. Thank you, Dr. Grant. I see your message on there. Appreciate that. So what I'm going to do here in a moment is transition to a pre-recorded piece of content. And I know you're going to enjoy this. This was calming. So I'm eager to watch it again from last night. But before I do, I want to call out our sponsors. I normally wait, but I want to do a little different today because the show today is the video I'm going to share is about 30 minutes. You can, if you want to stay for the whole thing, stay for the whole thing. If you want to grab little bits of it, when we get to, there's some really great content in it. There's some really great pauses in it where you're going to just let the fire, there's a fireplace involved. But let me just call out our sponsors here today. We have our Duchess DJ Love gallivanting like a royal, and she is, I believe she has a show tonight as well. She's got her show, so you want to check out her on Facebook, gallivanting like a royal. She's been adding guests to her platform. She highlights travel, how you can, when we travel, we look around. Did you ever notice this? We go to a new area, we travel, and we look around, and we're like, wow, we start to notice these little nuances. And she does that. She's been to all 50 US states, 10 countries. Let me share her information. You can scan these QR codes and it'll bring you to her content. So she's on tonight, I think at 8:00, but you'll see it. You can check out her platform. She was the first sponsor of my show. She believed in what we were doing here, and I want to highlight her. I love that quote. Traveling opens doors that you did not know needed opening. I absolutely love that quote. So make sure you connect with DJ, and then someone who's become a close was a client, close friend, is Julie Gandy, and she just wrote a book, A Jersey Girl Finds Peace. She's been studying peace and inner peace for well over 20 years, 25 years. I went through her process, and it was transformational for me. So these sponsors are curated people. We don't just let anyone sponsor the show. These are people who embody what they do. So let me share Julie's information. There's a QR code. You definitely want to connect with Julie as well. Back to you. How are you feeling on this Sunday morning? Like, want to invite you to check in with you. I know you're here listening to my voice, and to see what the experience, I trust you feel there's an experience here. It's not just words and a talking head, but what, where are you right now in this moment? Where's your breath? Where are your thoughts? Are you up here? Are you living up here? Shallow breath, thoughts racing, can't looking around, can't seem to focus. And if that's you, then you're the one that needs to stay longer. Because if your thoughts are racing and your body is racing, your nervous system is not in a good stress state, then we need to calm. We need to bring that calm into this space. And that's what we're going to do today. So I invite you to give this time and give yourself time, space, and grace to let this to unfold. Let me say good morning. Good morning, Jose. Good to see you on here, my friend. Rich, good to see you on here as well. Going to see my sister, haven't seen for years. We'll be thinking about you. We'll be thinking about you, Rich. Presence, man. This is like, I trust this is gonna serve you. I did a show on relationships last week. You may want to go watch that, and how we can create spaciousness in our relationships, even the ones that are stressful. Good morning, Carrie. As you know, I feel great, but I had a little thing going on my throat. So Dr. Grant is always looking out for me. I appreciate him. Thank you, sir. Drink lemon water. I am going to get a lemon today, and I am going to drink lemon water today. So thank you for that. All right, I want to move over to this recorded piece. I know you're going to love this. And then after, when we're done the recorded piece, I'm going to be reading from this book that I picked up. And really, you know what it is? It's Walt Whitman's personal journal. Walt Whitman was across the Delaware, like 5 or 6 miles from here, right around this area, had spent a lot of time and wrote a lot of his content around here. So that's pretty exciting. And so I'm going to be bringing this into your space today. And there's some really great excerpts. It's like I got the man's journal. I got his thoughts, his feelings, what he was thinking back in the 1800s, when life was less crowded, when there was less noise, when the sky was brighter because there was less light pollution, a different time and place. So we get to open up that book today and see what we can find out in this cracks of time that happened, a couple, what is that? Well over 100 years ago. I have some stuff from my personal journal I'm going to share with you today, and all this is for you. Okay. So I'm going to move over to this. I am going to be active in the chat. So I will be watching your chats as they come across. And, and there, isn't this ironic? So, oh wait. So Rich is going to be crossing the Walt Whitman Bridge. How perfect is that? And so, so Dr. Grant, feeling the power of presence. So when I open up this segment, you'll see I'm going to be inviting you to breathe. And I just want to invite you to, as we do this, as I transition, I want you to think about, if you're able to, see if you can sit in a comfortable place. See if you can keep both feet on the floor, palms on top of your thighs if you can, and see if you can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay, so that's what I'm going to invite you to do. I'll be here in the chat. I'll be highlighting your chats. And as we get into this, I invite you to share if something comes up. You don't have to, because if you're really into the moment, you don't want to deal with the chat. Just allow this to unfold for you. But if you're feeling something and you want to share it, you're welcome to share it too. So it's completely up to you. This is your experience. My intention is that you walk away with something or nothing. What do you mean nothing? Maybe you need to get into the vacuum and just let the thoughts go. And so there might be that for you. But whatever it is, I always say, trust what shows up. This is your journey. I'm just providing a space here. Okay. So let's transition over, and then I'll be back to greet you, and we'll see what comes up here. Welcome. A nice hot fire going here. Recording this February 25th. It's about 10:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to invite you to take that moment to just pause. Find stillness in yourself. Where has your mind wandered to? Where was it racing? Bring it here. Listen to the fire. Find that breath through your nose. Maybe find that breath that goes all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. You can feel it. It's so satisfying. Oxygenates the body. In through the nose. Pause. Exhale. Soften up your jaw. Soften up your forehead. You've made it to this moment. This is life. Whatever has happened yesterday, this morning, it's history. The future, we don't know. Be right here, right now. Calm, deep part of you where that knows, the part that goes where the noise can't touch it. The noise of the mind, the storms of life. The divine has placed it there always for you to connect to. I want to welcome you to this very moment. I'm just so grateful to be able to record this tonight, to have this fire. I want to share more of the fire with you tonight. And even though you're getting this on a playback here, recorded, I'm with you. And let's just see what comes up. I have a couple things to share with you. I got some tea. Power of Pure Presence. And I just got this green tea. I drink tea once in a while, and I didn't realize, but the tea has these little quotes on the bag, so I thought, let me share that with you tonight. This morning. Let your energy be used to build, not destroy. Let your energy be used to build, not destroy. So soothing. Maybe you have your coffee this morning, maybe you had it, maybe you have some tea. Cheers to you. I'm going to share a little bit of this fire with you, and I invite you to pause. Just allow the moment to unfold. Let's create some space this morning. If your mind is still racing, that's okay. Let's see if we can cultivate some moments of space. And then after I have some things to share with you. Let the fire soothe your soul. There's something about a fire that just, I almost think that, I don't think I've ever talked to a person that doesn't like a fire, and I think that, I almost think it's in our DNA over thousands upon thousands of years. Going back when prehistoric man, where think about how much of a morale booster a fire must have been. How grateful, for heat. I mean, now we have heat in our homes and air conditioning. But something about a fire brings us into the present moment. Lots of metaphors around fire too. It can be calming, it can be passionate and fiery, right? We associate fire with passion. We associate it with lots of things. But I trust in this moment you find it calming. What an energy, right? What an energy. So I want to share with you a couple things today. One of the themes that we're working on this week is resetting your life, pushing that reset button. And Monday, which is tomorrow at the time of this airing, we're going to be talking about self-care. And what's coming through for me, and I want to share it with you, is that the ability to create spaciousness in our lives, to make room, is powerful. To give ourselves space. Think about it. We can expand our expression. See what feels right. Many of us, we've lived a life of constriction. We've told ourselves things, we've done things that are not in alignment with who we really are. And this isn't about throwing your obligations away, but there's a way we can take care of our obligations and still be who we are and begin to explore more, explore that space. But think of spaciousness today. Think of expanding awareness of this very moment. Space. Space and grace. Maybe this is what you've been longing for in all of your striving, driving, chasing, trying to get validation through people, circumstances, manipulating the moment, always trying to get there, obsessed with getting there, only to realize the there that you seek is right here. The there that you seek is right here. Breathe this moment in. With every breath, we breathe this moment in. I can't breathe next year's moment in. I can't breathe tomorrow's moment in. I can only breathe this moment in. It's ludicrous. I can't breathe tomorrow's air. Think about it. The air I'm breathing right now is different tomorrow. And it's different the next day. And the day after that. And it just constantly changing. It seems the same, but it's different. This moment. Learn to be in this moment. Comfortable with the pause. Calm. The nervous system craves. Your nervous system craves it, but your head just keeps going, no, no, no. No, no, no. Push, drive, strive, chase, race, don't stop. I'm not saying we shouldn't have seasons where we do that, we do, but we need season, day, moment of calm to just be stilled, be still, Be still, be still, be still. It's actually one word, be still. Think about it. It was two words, but it's one word now. Be still. Be stilling the moment captured my heart. Be stilling. Becoming peace. Be stilling. Calming my soul. Be stilling. Evoking stillness from deep within. Presence. Pure presence. The energy of that is healing energy. I have something I want to share with you. A couple things. Three things I'm going to share with you. Happiness, not in another place, but this place. Not for another hour, but for this hour. And that's a quote by Walt Whitman, who spent much of his time in nature, sitting on the banks of the Delaware River, about 5 miles from here, looking up at the stars, listening to the birds sing. Learning to live fully now. Happiness not in another place, but this place. Not for another hour, but for this hour. And then here's a quote that I just wrote the other day, maybe a couple days ago, kind of really came through. I really love this quote. Each moment is impregnated with the fullness of life. The only thing we need to do to experience this fullness is to become fully aware. This awareness is activated when we are fully present in a state of observation, void of judgment. And then I had this other variation here, which I was thinking about myself. Life changes. It's along the same lines. Life changes when you recognize that the fullness of life is impregnated in each moment you're alive. Life changes when you recognize that the fullness of life is impregnated in each moment you are alive. Wow. Wow, that just moves me. Sometimes I think I didn't write that. Wow. I have something else in here. This is a book of poetry and quotes that I'm writing. I'm going to be releasing. Don't know when, but I have lots of quotes in there like that. Lots of sayings in there like that. And it's interesting, one of the premises of this show, one of the pillars of this show, is the T.S. Eliot quote, which I say almost on every show. And just remembered this. I go to the bookstore and I went to grab a book, and I think it was Aesop's Fables. I think that's the book I was grabbing. Yeah. I pulled it out, and this little book fell out on the floor. And I said, "What's that?" And I picked it up, and this was the book. And for those of you on the podcast, it's T.S. Eliot's 4 quartets, which includes Little Giddings, which includes We Shall Not Cease from Exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. And I interpret that for my show as this very moment, but let's read on. Through the unknown, remembered gate, when the last of earth left to discover is that which was the beginning at the source of the longest river, the voice of the hidden waterfall, and the children in the apple tree, not known because not looked for, but heard, half heard, in the stillness between 2 waves of the sea. Quick now, here, now, always. A condition of complete simplicity, costing not less than everything. And all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, when the tongues of flame are enfolded into the crowned knot of fire, and the fire and the rose are one. And that's the last quartet in this T.S. Eliot. But I was preparing for this, and I thought, I want to grab something else from this. And lo and behold, I opened up right to the page. And that's what I really wanted to share with you. So I'm just going to read another. And this is from, I haven't done enough research into it, but into the names of these. But there's a lot of context around these quartets, the time they were written, what they mean. But there's a lot of great, some of it's a little deep, but this is called Burnt Norton. Burnt Norton. And I didn't plan on fireworks going off, but they are. So we'll just keep that right in the video. I don't know why fireworks are going off right now. Wow, how could... Amazing. Amazing. 10:45 at night. I'm like, I'm going to record Power of Pure Presence and hear like fireworks. Amazing. Wow. So we're on to something here. Okay. So let me read this little, it's a short reading. Descend lower. Descend only into the world of perpetual solitude. World, not world, but that which is not world. Internal darkness, deprivation, and destitution of all property. Desiccation of the world of sense. Evacuation of the world of fancy. inoperacy of the world of spirit. This is the one way, and the other is the same, not in movement, but in abstination from movement. While the world moves in appetency on its meddled ways of time, past, and future. The pronunciation of this word, I trust I got it right. It's in appetency. A-P-P-E-T-E-N-C-Y, and that means in, like, the longing, desiring. So in the world's in appetency on its meddled ways of time, past, and future. And I thought that was so fitting. This is a pretty deep dive, right? So we're not going to get into all of it, but the calling to get out of that, right, is this, to get out of that longing, constant longing, or measuring, and the sense that the world can operate on, and to be in a place where we can be at peace out of past and future. And of course, if we dissect this more, this is not a poetry interpretation show, but this would go a lot deeper if we sat and really dissected this. But maybe it's a little extreme for what we're doing here, but I think the call here, sometimes we can be extreme to bring perspective into what we're doing. Can we be in that space more often where we're not associated, evacuation of the world of fancy? Think about that. Destitution of all property. In other words, we're not identified with things. We can be in this very moment in a state of peace, which is what the power of pure presence is about. Being in that state of harmony and peace. And as the fire begins to fade, we'll close out this segment. We can just think about what we shared here today, what that means for you. Grab a moment to just maybe let it marinate, just pause and breathe. I trust we had moments of calm during this segment, moments of perspective, listening to the fire, hearing fireworks. Interesting. You never know what's going to happen in the moment, right? Perhaps you heard that ambient music playing in the background. Did you feel a sense of calm during this segment? Was your mind still racing? There's no right or wrong. There's just observing what is. Giving yourself space. And sometimes when we're giving ourselves space, the mind is still going to race. But the more we allow that space, that opening, where we don't go in and try to manipulate it, we might just capture a moment where there's a void. We notice the void. We notice something in the moment that's happening. Each moment is impregnated with the fullness of life. It only requires our full awareness of it. Void of past, void of future, void of trying to manipulate for validation, endorsement, to try to get something or somewhere. We're in a pure state when we're there. We're not going to be there all the time. It's a state we allow ourselves into. It's pure. That's what makes it pure. So pause and breathe. just anchor this in, whatever came up for you during this segment. Trust it. Maybe you need to write something down. Maybe you need to let something go. Maybe you just need to forget whatever it was and just be here right in this moment. Pause and breathe. Welcome back, everyone. That energy by the fire, and I think you can relate if most people, I would think, have had the opportunity to just sit by a fire, and I wanted that to come across on this Sunday morning, that calmness, calm, allowing the body and the mind, the heart and the mind to become synchronized. It's a pure place. And it's not difficult, but it can be when we're in a state. We can hypnotize ourselves by this repetitive, I must, I have to, I got all the time, because there's always something we're working on, right? And but to be in the moment, to find more joy as life unfolds. Carrie, you spent the day working by the fire yesterday. Heaven. Okay. Beautiful. So with the remainder of the show, I want to just pause here and let you know about what's happening this week. Speaking of Carrie's going to be joining us this week. We have a program that we're going to be running every day from February 27th to March 3rd. We're going to go live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're calling this the Life Reset 5-Day Challenge. Let me see if I have the topics here. The topics are going to be related to you. Yeah, here they are. I'm going to put these up on the screen right now. These are the topics. So every day, we're going to go through one topic. So Monday, we're going to hit self-care. Tuesday, we're going to hit challenges and uncertainty. Wednesday, we're going to hit rediscovery or self-rediscovery. And Thursday, we're going to talk about creativity, cultivating creativity again in yourself. And number 5, which would be Friday, is a new decision. So every day this upcoming week, we're going to be hitting these topics. And I think they're very relevant. And I have a panel of experts that are going to be joining. Carrie is one of them. So Carrie will be joining us as well. And the first day, Monday, is self-care. We're going to be talking about self-care. So you definitely want to do that. And it looks like we have Mandy's just joining. Good morning, Mandy. I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday weekend. I hope you had a beautiful time with your family. And we're sending you just a heartfelt birthday wishes for you. I want to invite you to really consider this life reset, and I'm going to show you where you can connect with it, and then we'll recap the show. I promised something from Walt Whitman here, so I want to read that to you. If you go to my website, austinhaines.com, on the very first page, I have the life reset there with all the videos. Matter of fact, I'm just going to show you because it'll be easier. And then I'll show you, for those of you on the podcast, it's austinhaines.com. If you're on the other platforms, I'm going to put a QR code up so you can scan the QR code, get to the information. We're going to stream it on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, E360 TV, lots of opportunities. So wherever you're listening, if you're on the podcast, go over to my website, austinhaines.com. We're going to have anywhere between 5 and 10 people a day, panel experts, talking about a life reset during this time that we just came out of. So I really want to invite you to do that. So let me share with you how to get to the information. I'll put the QR code up. grab some final shares. We'll check in with you again this morning after today's show by the fire. If you haven't watched it, I trust it. Maybe you want to rewatch it tonight, actually, on a Sunday night. It'd be a great segment to watch because it's very calming. So I definitely want to invite you to do that. Okay, let's grab this screen share here. Okay, so this is the website right here. This is austinhaines.com. You can go to the website. You see the Life Reset 5-Day Challenge, Monday, February 27th through Friday, March 3rd, every day at 7 p.m. And we want you to move forward. We want you to take care. So here are the topics again. All the videos are already preloaded. You just have to set your reminder, or you can just go over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. So there you go. Monday, day 1, self-care. Tuesday, day 2, uncertainty challenges. Wednesday, day 3, self-rediscovery. Thursday, day 4, creativity. Friday, day 5, new decision. So they're all right here. You can watch it on Facebook if you want, wherever you are, or just go to my website. You'll grab the YouTube link, the live YouTube link, and then you're free to watch it. So I just want to encourage you. And so before we transfer over to Walt Whitman, I had another little video that I wanted to share that I think you're going to like. This was a video that I had put up there, and it got a lot of views. This was from my personal writing in the book there that I'm writing, and it was just a random excerpt, but I'll put that up for you here right now. Your heart plays a song. It's not always heard, but it's always there. This song is the true rhythm of your soul. And the only way to truly hear it is to be still. A calm body and mind allow this song to reverberate from the depth of your being. Find some time to calm the body and the mind. Empty your mind of thought. Be still. Close your eyes, breathe, and listen from the depth of your being. And I promise you, it won't only speak to you, you will hear the rhythm of your own soul. Have a wonderful day. A little video I created and got a lot of views. I think it's over 2,500 views or something. So I know people are longing to get in touch with themselves. Like it's obvious to me. We just don't know it because the noise of society is so loud. It's so loud, making you think that happiness is all over the place. And it's within you right now. And that's the point of the show. So let me, with a couple minutes, we got about 11 minutes. I promised you. So Walt Whitman resided maybe like four miles from here on the banks of the Delaware River. And I was fortunate enough to, this book, I say these books find me. This is a book called Specimen Days by Walt Whitman. And it's basically a personal journal. It's like his personal accounts. And it's really interesting to me because when he talks about looking up at the stars, it's the sky well over 100 years ago when there was less noise, light pollution, less noise pollution. And he would get out in nature, and he crossed the Delaware River many times. So let me just read a couple random things here I picked out. And they're not, this isn't like rocket science. This is all about living in the moment. And like, it seems like Walt Whitman gets it. So here, let me read this. This is February 13th. I want to say, what year was this? 1880. So this was written February 13th, 1880. It's called A Hint of Wild Nature. As I was crossing the Delaware today, saw a large flock of wild geese right overhead, not very high up, ranged in a V shape in relief against the noon clouds of light smoke color. Had a capital, though, momentary view of them, and then of their course on and on southeast, till gradually fading. My eyesight yet first rate for the open air and its distances, but I use glasses for reading. Queer thoughts melted into me the 2 or 3 minutes, or less, seeing these creatures cleaving the sky, the spacious, airy realm, even the prevailing smoke gray color everywhere. No sun was shining, the water below, the rapid flight of birds appearing just for a minute, flashing to me such a hint of the whole spread of nature, with her eternal, unsophisticated freshness, her never visited recesses of sky, of sea, sky, shore, and then disappearing in the distance. Like, how about a moment of pure presence where Walt Whitman was experiencing this? And I love the fact that he says, her never visited recesses of sea, sky, or shore, and then disappearing in the distance. So just a moment that you might have witnessed something like that. And let me read this other one here. This is called Loafing in the Woods. This is March 8th of the same year, 1880. I write this down in the country again, but in a new spot, seated on a log in the woods, warm, sunny, midday, have been loafing here deep among the trees, shafts of tall pines, oak, hickory, with a thick undergrowth of laurels and grapevines, the ground covered everywhere by debris, dead leaves, breakage, moss, everything solitary, ancient, grim. Paths, such as they are, leading hither and yon. How made I know not, for nobody seems to come here, nor man nor cattle kind. Temperature today about 60. The wind through the pine tops, I sit and listen to its hoarse sighing above, and to the stillness, long and long, varied by aimless rambles in the old roads and paths, and by exercise pulls at the young saplings to keep my joints from getting stiff. Bluebirds, robins, meadowlarks begin to appear. It's just super cool to read this, because especially since this was close by here, and it's like going through a little bit of a time machine, where, because now, even in your location, think about all the noise, airplanes, cars, it's nonstop. And we as a human race have become, most of the population has become accustomed to ambient noise. Silence can be scary for people. Stillness and silence can be scary. It can also be an incredible opening for presence and a deeper understanding of yourself and others. It unlocks doors, like what DJ shared. I think it unlocks doors you did not know needed opening, just like travel does in the quote that I shared earlier with Duchess DJ Love. And this is a really great read. So it's interesting. I found it at the library, and then I took it out. I started reading through it, and I had to bring it back. And then I thought, I got to go get that book again. And so now I'm thumbing through it, and it's interesting. I've found several excerpts, which I'm not going to get into now, but it seems like I just stumble across something that is relevant. Like he writes about Edgar Allan Poe, Beethoven's septet. There's just all kinds of really great things. Actually, there's pictures in here too. Is this him here? Yeah, Leaves of Grass, about 8:35, just before publication. So this is just before the publication of Leaves of Grass. There's a picture. And just really great to highlight a writer who, at the time, was adored and repulsed, repulsive and adored, because some people didn't like him. They thought he was gruff in his approach, his dress, and ironically self-published Leaves of Grass. Incredible story. Anyway, we can learn a lot from this, and we can learn how to be present. And final shares, just what's coming up for you today. I'm glad you were here with me today. How much you caught, I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. And let's see. Let me just share with you one more thing here before we. Oops. Let's see here. I'm going to share something with you. And as we close, what are you going to take with you today? What are you going to put down? What are you going to pick up? Put down, pick up. So let me share the QR code. Let me share the QR code as I promised. Go to the website, and then you'll get all the information on this. And for those of you on the podcast, glad you were here today. Go to austinhaynes.com. You'll get the information that I'm talking about. And it's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great week. Find some time to be still today. Find some time to reflect on what's most important. Maybe you're going to go sit amongst the trees. Maybe you're going to sit by the fire. Maybe you're going to spend some time with a loved one. But whatever it is, there's an opportunity with all of these situations to be more fully in the moment where life is happening. Oh, here's my quote that I shared earlier. Let me put that up. Life changes when you recognize that the fullness of life is impregnated in each moment. All that's required is our awareness, a deepening awareness. And when we do that, we step into the fullness of life. And that's what I want for you today. So God bless you. I'm glad you were here. Thank you, Carrie. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Mandy, I'm glad you made it. And everyone else who joined earlier, who were traveling, this is for you. Power of pure presence. Live life fully. When? When do we live life fully? Let me get you to type that in as we say goodbye right now. Have a blessed day, everyone.